Good afternoon. We are here in Naples at the 11th edition of Mediterranean Dialogues. The panel on the Western Balkans has just finished. We focused on the future of the region into the European Union. And now we have the privilege to have an interview with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Mr. Elmedin Konakovic. Minister, thank you for giving us this opportunity to have an interview with you.
Thank you for the invitation. It's my great pleasure.
And as a first question, I'd like to focus on a very important point because in 1 month, Bosnia and Herzegovina will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Dayton Peace Accord. This anniversary arrives amid institutional instability and a political crisis. Do you believe that the current crisis could undermine the Dayton framework and, more broadly, Bosnia's sovereignty and territorial integrity?
First of all, we really are celebrating the Dayton Agreement because Dayton Agreement brought a peace to my country 30 years ago. We know the value of peace, actually, and we know what war truly means, you know. I was a soldier during the war, 17 and a half years old, minor, but I was defending my country, and I know how my friends and me, all of us together, my family, were happy after Dayton Agreement was signed. Dayton also brought a complexive organization of Bosnia and Herzegovina, complexive constitutional arrangement, and we need to reach consensus today about every single issue in our country. Together with the people, they are still denying genocide, celebrating war crimes and criminals. We don't see the history of our country with the same eyes, but one more time, it's much, much better than war. So maybe it is a time to think about updating the Dayton Agreement because the functionality of the country is not perfect, but it's still functional. So we had an excellent year at the beginning of this mandate, adopting seven laws from European agenda, adopting 2 biggest budgets in the history of Bosnia and Herzegovina, solving some issues actually together with the partners on the state level. But then the other part of the story, and today we have a crisis, the deepest crisis after the Dayton, but it's not ethnical, actually. It's more geopolitical because of Russian malign influence, because of personal relations of Mr. Dodik, previous ex-president of Republika Srpska, and Mr. Putin himself. Dodik is, I'm sure, the best Putin's friend in Europe. They had 7 official meetings in last year and a half. Dodik is celebrating these meetings. And it's more malign Russian influence than ethnical, historical fight between Croats, Bosniaks, or Serbs. On the other side, we have the biggest opportunity on the table offered by European Union, finally, I can say, because of new approach regarding enlargement. And now, actually, they offer the growth plan. They actually are proposing the gradual integration of our industries to big and strong European single market. On the other side, it's really an opportunity. And why is not technical? Mr. Dodik, he actually now is attacking Serbs if they don't follow his crazy secessionist idea. He's threatening to the opposition leaders. They actually attacked physically Mr. Borenovic, he's senior member of PDP party in Bosnia and Herzegovina. They 2 times, they burned a car to Mr. Vukanovic, also Serb from Trebinje, actually, because he don't agree with Mr. Dodik. So now it's a kind of madness actually organized from Moscow more than on the ethnical basis. I'm still optimistic. I think we can deliver our homework and we can continue with the European integration, and that's now top priority of our foreign policy.
You mentioned the war, and of course the war in the Middle East is one of the main topics at this year Med edition, as its consequences could reshape international relations. Last week, the Bosnian tripartite presidency symbolically endorsed Trump's peace plan for Gaza by supporting his nomination for Nobel Peace Prize. If you can tell us, what is Bosnia's position on the situation in the Middle East?
First of all, we support two-state solution. That's our official position. And the second, because unfortunately of our experience, we can see what is, and we did stay on the right side of the history, I can say, actually from the beginning of this crisis, of this war, of the aggression to be honest. We condemned the Hamas attack on October 7th, because that's not allowed by law, by religion. Actually, they cannot go on Israeli soil. They cannot take kids as hostages. They cannot shoot civilians. That's not allowed. So I personally, institutionally, and other politicians from Bosnia, we condemn the Hamas attack on Israeli soil. On the other side, that cannot be an alibi for the Israeli side, for Netanyahu's government to destroy churches, mosques, cathedrals, schools, markets, to shoot kids, civilians. Actually, that's also not okay. We condemn that activities and actions actually from Israeli side. Finally, and we really appreciate what President Trump was doing in this case. Actually, he was the one putting a lot of pressure probably on Netanyahu and actually forcing him to agree with the peace agreement. And I will underline the value of peace that we really perfectly understand. So today, comparing again with Bosnia and Herzegovina's complex constitutional organization, it's much better. We have lasting peace for 30 years, and that's really something that we should celebrate. So it's the most important issue is we need all of us to do everything we can to protect a peace. And then diplomacy has a place to act. Then we can expect some diplomatic solutions. We can expect discussions about borders, implementation of two-state solution. And I just have to go back to Bosnia and Herzegovina. Actually, genocide in my country was committed in United Nations protected zone. During the war, our army actually was prosecuting several individuals after they attacked civilians, after they were shooting kids and women. That's not allowed. So we acted when actually during the war, after we were attacked from, at that time, fourth strongest army in Europe, and we proved how actually things are not wrong by prosecuting, not okay by prosecuting the individuals who committed the war crimes. So today we can say to the rest of the world what is okay and what is not.
I think this answer going in the same direction of my next question, as Bosnia is a European state where the last genocide on the continent occurred, the Srebrenica genocide. And from Srebrenica to Gaza, what lessons from Bosnia, what lessons can Bosnia offer regarding Palestinian statehood and the broader stability of the Middle East?
After Srebrenica genocide, actually our messages was never happen again to anyone. But unfortunately, it is happening in Europe, it is happening in Ukraine, it happened in Gaza, it happens actually in Sudan, in some other places. So I don't believe that the world actually learned lessons from Srebrenica genocide, unfortunately. We can talk a lot about peace, about complexity of peace, but also about value of peace. I was a soldier. Today I'm negotiating with the guy who was at the same time on my front line on the other side. So we were literally trying to shoot each other, to kill each other. And today we are talking about the future of our country because he has kids, I have kids, and we don't want to push our kids where we actually spent years, 30 years ago. So, and I can say he's my friend today. And I have many friends on the other side actually smart enough to understand that today we need to look into the future and we need to take opportunities that we finally have from European Union at the table. Why this European Union integration is so important for Bosnia? I think in 2021 we were in the first place in terms of losing people in the world. We had in 2021 130,000 Bosnians and Herzegovinians with the permissions to work in European Union official Eurostat statistic. That's close to 4% of total population, and the most productive part of our society actually left Bosnia and Herzegovina. We need to provide, to offer like brighter future opportunities, bigger salaries. That's possible only through European integration, like using the strong European single single market, if we open the door, if we integrate our industries, then we can expect investors. We can have money for investing in Bosnia and Herzegovina and developing our economy. And that can be a chance for young people to stay in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And that is the reason why we should look into the future, not to the past, because I'm sure that we cannot never agree what happened in the 90s. I know no one has to tell me was that a genocide or not, because it's international court decision and it has to be respected. On the other side, those discussions, daily political discussions, actually are slowing down or blocking the economical development, and people are leaving. If we go with our actually look into the future, I think we can do a lot for our country, and that is experience we can share to Palestinian people, to that region, and actually I think we can really help to promote the values of peace.
Thank you, Mr. Minister Konakovic.
Thank you.